Have you ever been sitting alone in complete silence and suddenly felt like someone else was in the room with you? No sound, no voice, nothing you could point to. And yet somehow you just knew. There was something greater, deeper, present with you. I remember the first time that happened to me. I was walking alone in the forest after a long, exhausting day. No one was around, just the wind, the leaves, and a storm of thoughts in my head. But then, in that still moment, a strange peace came over me. Not the kind of peace that comes from logic or reason, but like someone gently placed their hand over my heart and whispered, "I am here." That's when I realized, sometimes God doesn't speak in words. He reaches us through supernatural experiences, moments that go beyond ordinary understanding. Moments that make you stop and simply say, "I can't explain it, but I know it was real." Some people hear the voice of God, clearly, as if someone is speaking directly to them. I once spoke with a single mother. She told me that one evening, when she was completely overwhelmed and on the edge of collapse, she heard a soft voice say, "You're not alone. Keep going." She wasn't a religious person. She wasn't expecting a divine moment, but it came, right when she needed it most. Some see strange images, like light, or things that can't be explained by science. I met a man once during a counseling session. He had lost his wife years ago and lived in quiet solitude. One day while praying, he told me he saw a warm, golden light pouring down through the window. But here's the thing. The sky that day was grey and overcast. No sunlight. He wasn't afraid. In fact, he felt an overwhelming peace, as if his late wife was sending him a message, "God is here, and so am I." And then there are those who simply feel the presence of God. Strong, undeniable, no image, no sound, but too real to ignore. If you've ever felt that, you know, it's not like any emotion you've ever had. It's not excitement. It's not fear. It's presence. Like you're standing before something sacred, and all you can do is be still. Have you ever had a moment like that? Have you ever felt goosebumps? Not from cold, but because something holy just passed through? Have you ever felt protected by something unseen, right when you were about to break? I want you to imagine this. You're sitting alone, late at night. You're not speaking. You're not even praying out loud. But inside, you're struggling. And then, you feel something surround you. A gentle warmth, a sense of being understood, covered. You open your eyes. You look around. No one's there. But your soul knows. I am not alone. In Scripture, we see many examples of these kinds of supernatural encounters. Moses saw a bush on fire that was not consumed, and from it he heard God's voice. Samuel, still a young boy, heard God calling to him in the night. Saul, on the road to Damascus, was struck down by a blinding light and became Paul, the preacher of the gospel. These stories aren't just legends. They're reminders that God still speaks to people. Not always in words, sometimes through experience, through presence, through silence, filled with power. I once read a fascinating psychological study. Neuroscientists discovered that when people enter deep stillness, through prayer, meditation, or contemplation, the brain begins to produce special waves called alpha and theta, which help us feel deeply connected to something spiritual. This doesn't mean God is just a trick of the brain. No, It means we were designed to connect with the divine. And supernatural experiences aren't random. They're where spirit and body meet in sacred moments. So if you've ever had one of those experiences, you're not crazy. You're not imagining things. You're being touched. And sometimes God uses that very moment to awaken you, to comfort you, or to draw you back to Him. A friend of mine once said, "I don't always hear God's voice, but when He speaks, I can't ignore it." And I think, maybe you've felt that too. Something quiet but strong, gentle but unmistakably clear. Hard to explain, but impossible to deny. Maybe you've been waiting for a sign from God. Maybe you've been hoping for something specific, something clear, and you keep thinking, maybe I need to do something bigger, pray harder, be more spiritual. But the beautiful truth is, God is not limited in how He speaks to you. He can use a breeze, a light, a dream, a pause, a touch on your soul. That changes you forever. So if you've had a supernatural experience you can't explain, know this, it could be a sign that God is speaking to you. Pause. Don't dismiss it. Ask yourself, what is God trying to tell me right now? And listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. If this video speaks to you, I invite you to share your experience in the comments, because sometimes your story could be the light for someone else. And if you want to continue this journey of faith with me, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We still have one more sign to uncover in the final part of this series. Thank you for being here. God is walking with you in ways more wonderful than you can imagine.